They say that during East Germany's zenith, 1 out of every 3 people in the country was a spy for the government. That means inside families.
Crazy.
And that just shows you how everyone becomes complicit in the lie.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't you find, sorry, I have a question for you. Don't you find it interesting how there are people alive today who would hear that and go, I would never be one of the 3?
They were the same people who did exactly what they were told during lockdown.
Right? Isn't that so interesting? It's almost the idea that you are the exception.
No, and everyone thinks they would have been moral in a previous generation. Oh, I would not have thought well of slavery. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I think you would have been part of the system just like you are now.
So scary.
There's a lot of moral superiority going around, unearned moral superiority. Because you can get it on Twitter by saying you're a good person or by denouncing someone else. You know, if I denounce you when you say something about business that doesn't conform to my ideology, for example, then I'm looking like the more compassionate person online because Vusi Thembekwayo says, oh, money doesn't flow uphill or whatever.
Yes.
And suddenly I'm a good person by comparison with you. Plus, I've been brave in inverted
to
commas.
approach Vusi Thembekwayo.
Yeah, to like say something, to snipe at him from the sidelines.
Yeah. There's a
You
lot
know what
of
I
that.
mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
there's a
big
lot
time.
of that.
And you've taken way more than your fair share of it. And the reason I'm going down this line of question, because I'm suspecting that you are sick and tired of it. You said at the beginning you don't care anymore about that stuff.
Yes.
Which is healthy. You
Yes.
shouldn't. Why would you stop on the side of the road if a homeless person who's drunk on meths is shouting at you? Why would you stop and have a conversation?
Yes.
You've got things to do. You've got
Yes.
places to go.
Yes.
You can't stop for everybody.
Yes.
And Twitter's full of drunk, homeless people on meths
Yeah.
who are flinging
Lovely
feces
analogy.
at everyone else.
Lovely
right?
analogy.
I mean, it's
And,
not.
and worse is they hide behind the anonymity.
Oh, yeah.
Which then amplifies it. Right?
Yes. Okay, so let's just get back to the economy. If you were in charge, this is a terrible question, but I know you have answers for this because you've thought about this. You're a real thinker. If you were in charge of everything right now, there are a couple of switches that you could switch on or off in order to get things to improve immediately, which for some reason, current leadership, business, unions, whoever they may be, all of them in cahoots, because I think they are, wouldn't want to switch those switches on. What are the first things you would do?
That's a tough one.
Because you don't want to run for president. Let's
No.
be clear.
No.
But if you had to, if someone put you in charge now and said, my God, we're in such big trouble. The landscape is barren. The only guy who we can find who can rub 2 brain cells together is Vusi Thembekwayo. Please take over.
I think one of the first things I would do is I'd probably just assemble a team of really good people. There's some incredibly capable people in this country, very capable. But you'd have to give them immunity. You'd have to give them immunity and say, everything you've done and built will not be tainted by what I'm about to ask you to do, but I need you to get involved. See, at the moment, it's the bozo explosion. The best of us are led by the worst of us, who've then convinced the average that the worst are the best. And so the average think that it is your ability to round your R's that makes you a true thinker and a revolutionary.
Talk about cadres and
Yes,
comrades.
and not comb your hair, because an unkept.
Then you're more authentic.
Yes, and an unkept afro and a scruffy beard, then you've got the look.
And you must go, no,
Exactly.
quite a lot.
Shut up. Just honestly.
Do you seriously still get shit from people about the way you speak? That you're able to actually coherently put sentences together is a huge threat to some people.
I mean,
still.
yeah, I mean,
and of course you get those people who say, "Ah, Matt, he speaks so beautifully, so he must be clever."
yes,
It's also just unbelievable.
It's also the conflation that how you speak has anything to do with what you have to say. I mean, I don't know if I still do. I don't pay attention.
Although
to it.
they've found that low verbal intelligence,
Yes,
something which you definitely don't suffer from,
yes,
is very closely linked to an appreciation for authoritarianism.
is that true?
Yeah, absolutely true. Now that's interesting. Low verbal intelligence means you're automatically attracted to authoritarianism.
Wow, these meek people. Eh?
Yeah.
Your question was, what would I do?
Yeah, what would you do, President?
I don't know, man. I think structurally there are things that are so far so far eroded. There would be a lot to be done to understand the best way for us out of the problem.